Hi, good morning. So, in the last class, we have completed the Dalton's theory. I mean Dalton's atomic theory. So, so as I said, today we will start about some again very basic part of our chemistry, that is atomic number. So already I have explained during basic classes, but also according to your syllabus, there is a next part of this chapter is nothing but the atomic number, and which is denoted by a letter Z. Letter Z. The number of proton present in the nucleus. The number of protons present in the nucleus. The number of protons present in the nucleus of an atom is called atomic number. Right? Is called atomic number. That means in our nucleus we have two fundamental particles. That means proton as well as neutrons. The number of protons and neutrons are always same. So thus the number of proton, based on the number of proton present in the nucleus, what we can say, that is the atomic number of a particular element or an atom, right? So that means the number of protons present in the nucleus is nothing but what? Atomic number or atomic mass, one we say, and it is denoted by a letter called Z, right? So next is mass number. Mass number, and mass number is denoted by letter A. So what is mass number? The total number of proton and neutron present in the nucleus. The total number of proton and neutron. The total number of proton and neutron present in the nucleus is called mass number, right? And it is denoted again by a letter called A. So now here, in case of atomic number, we have just calculated the number of protons present in the nucleus. Now what we need to do is number of proton as well as, if we count the number of proton and number of neutron present in the nucleus, that will be nothing but mass number. So here the question will arise, why we are not considering the number of electrons, right? Very important, right? So why we are not considering the number of electron means, see here, one we can add the electron or one we can remove the electron, right? So that's why we already know, if we add, definitely negative charge come, I mean extra electron, if we add into the atom of any atom, then definitely the negative charge will come. And if I remove the electron, or if we remove the electron, then definitely positive charge will come. So now what I said during your basic classes is nothing but, right, whenever, I mean nucleus is a very rigid part, right? So that's why the nucleus, what are the, I mean fundamental particles present in the nucleus, one we cannot remove or add them, right? So that is very important. So this point we have to consider. So that's why we are just considering. And in the nucleus, what are the fundamental particles are there? Proton as well as neutron. If we consider only proton, then that becomes the atomic number, and which will be represented by letter Z. And if we consider both, that means proton and neutron present in the nucleus, then definitely that becomes mass number, right? So electron we are not considering. Why? Because one we can add the electron, or else one we can remove the electron. So that's why electron number varies, right? Atom to atom, element to element. I mean, if it reacts with more electronegative atom, then definitely it loses the electron. If it reacts with the less electronegative atom, then definitely extra electron will come. So that's why electron number may vary, right? So that is the reason why we are not considering the electrons, right? So this is about atomic number as well as the mass number, and already you know how to calculate the number of neutrons present in any atom, right? So for that we have the relation between atomic number, and mass number. The relation between atomic number and mass number and neutron, all the three, I mean, you can say here comma, the relation between atomic number, mass number and neutron can be written as can be written as already you know, right? What is that? N is equal to A minus, I mean, Z, right? Already you did some of the problems based on what number of proton and number of neutrons. I mean, how to calculate proton, I mean neutron, right? So on the basis of that, right, we have one, we can say how many number of neutrons are present in the particular element. If you want, so again I will give just an idea about this, and you can solve some more problems in book as well as already I have given. If you have those, means you can try it. Say for example, if they ask you to calculate the number of neutron present in the given species or element, then definitely you consider this as a, like this, x is nothing but any element a to z, like this, a to z. So this is the hint. So a is nothing but what? Mass number, and z is nothing but what? Atomic number. So now see here, n is equal to a minus z. There is a formula for us. So what is a? A is nothing but 12, and what is a z? Z is nothing but 6. So thus the number of neutron present in our carbon will be what? 6, right? So likewise, what we can solve in many problems, if you want, you can solve. There are very less number of species are there. If you want, who all are not attended that basic classes, you can try these examples, right? So I will give examples, and who already did, don't go for this, right? N, sodium 11, or it's like this, you can write 1123, and comma, one more is Cl 1735, right? So 35.5 actually, but if it is given like this, means you can calculate like that only, right? So when you can calculate these things, if you want, you can again calculate and try to calculate some by taking some more examples. So I am having these many examples, right? So you want, you can try these three examples, and you can send me the assignment, right? So next is average atomic mass. This is very important part, and if this type of question appears in your exam, it will be of 2 to 3 marks. It depends. Average atomic mass. Next part is average atomic mass. So when average comes, then definitely there will be a more than one, right? More than one. Average one we can calculate if there are more than one bodies are present, right? So see here, in our nature, many atoms, right? Many atoms. You just go through the book, you come to know what is average atomic mass, right? So many atoms they show what isotopic forms. Very important. Isotopes when we say. Already you have studied. I know that that means in your lower classes. So iso means what? Same. So the same species, if it exists in two different physical, physical states, or else if it having a same species with different mass number, then those are called as isotopes, right? So say for example, if I take a carbon, carbon can exist in three isotopic forms: C12, C13, right? And C11, I think, right? Carbon can exist in two only. But in case of chlorine also, when we can see Cl35 and Cl37, these are the two isotopic forms of what? Chlorine. Likewise, when we can see the number of isotopic forms in what? different elements, but for all elements we don't have till now. What we understood is, so that means there are few species, they can show their isotopic forms. That means it is a carbon only, but the mass is different, right? The mass number is different. If such a species exists, then those are called as what? Isotopes or isotopic form, what we can say, right? So isotopes are nothing but the same species with its different mass number. Those are called as what? Isotope. That means average atomic mass one we can take by having these type of examples, right? For these, we need to calculate some average mass. For calculation, we have one formula here. Average atomic mass is equal to, right, abundance of isotope. Abundance means of isotope into, right, molecular mass of isotope. Molecular mass of isotope whole divided by, right, whole divided by 100. So this is our formula. Both the quantity they will give in your question itself, right? I will show one question also. So both the quantity they will give. Why? Because average atomic mass, you just need to concentrate on some problems. Why? Because these type of problems they have asked in previous examination. In your main examination. So that's why when you can go for these type of examples. So example is nothing but, see, calculate the average mass of average atomic mass of, problem will be like this: calculate the average atomic mass of, calculate the average, I will write in shortcut, average atomic mass of chlorine by mass of chlorine by following data. They will give everything. That means they will give everything. Like first column will be, this is a question itself: isotope And then abundance. Abundance is nothing but in how much percentage it is present in our nature, right? It's what percent present in our nature. And atomic mass. They will give everything. You just need to put the values. I mean, substitute the values and get the result. Atomic mass, right? So first isotope is Cl35, whose abundance in the nature is more. That means 75.7% it is abundant in our nature, and its atomic mass is 34.96. Coming to one more, Cl37, whose abundance is 24.3, 24.23, and its atomic mass is 36.96. Same, 36.96. So all the data they have given, just you put, I mean, substitute these value. So first, that means there are two isotopes. That means to calculate its average, we have to multiply these two by adding the values of these two, right? So now see, I will remove this, right? So the first, 35, right? So Cl35, which is equal to, whose abundance is what? 75.77 into, as it is, molecular mass. What is the molecular mass? 34.96 plus, why? Because we have one more isotope, that is of whose abundance, again you follow this, add. If there are three, then add three times, right? So now next isotope is of C37, and whose abundance is 24.33 into 23 into, and whose molecular mass of isotope is 36.96, whole divided by 100, right? So nearly you will get 35.4 atomic mass unit, right? So this is all about what average atomic mass. If you want, you can try it, and then you try to send me the answers, right? In your book you have some more problems. You go through it, and later you send me the assignment. Okay, this is all about today's class. Thank you.